Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Affinity for Homarids podcast. I am your host, Aiden O'Connor, and here with me I have...
Nolan Everly.
And Jim Shoup.
And today we're going to do a little different instead of a weekly wrap-up because last week there was no SG Open. We're going to do an EDH cast this week. So, we're basically going to talk about what we've been playing, what we've seen, whatever sweet tech we've seen, just almost anything EDH. If you're not a fan of EDH, that's fine. We might talk about some other stuff, so stick around. But for the most part, this is going to be an EDH cast.
There was a GP in Standard we could talk about briefly near the end, but I mean, yeah,
we could.
It's mostly going to be EDH.
Yeah. So, anybody have any pet decks or anything that they want to kick it off with?
Other than my Mail the Anima deck, really. That's really the only deck I've been working on recently, so I've been trying to just, pick up cards that I've, pseudo had, so I need to get bigger creatures,
You should hear quickly. Can you explain to the people who might not know what Mail does and whatever?
She's probably a very rarely played mythic from the Shards of Alara block. She costs Naya colors, green, white, red, and her special ability is that she taps green, white, red, and 3, and you tap her, and you get to look at the top 5 cards of your library and put a creature with power 5 or greater into play. So you can see how you would actually build a deck around that. You just get...
Right.
I think there was a statistic on MTG Salvation where they showed the percentage of hitting with her with the amount of creatures in your deck. So I figured then I found the perfect amount in the deck is 28. So you basically just fill these little niches with creatures that have power 5 or greater, like Balefire Dragon is a good sweeper. You have Woodfall Primus is some good artifact or Planeswalker removal. You got the card Godsire from that same set, which is a 8/8 Vigilance Trample that you can tap and put an 8/8 into play.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's probably one of my favorite creatures.
And he's the only multicolored creature in that deck.
Yeah.
So, I just need to find cards that, overall make that deck better. I just really need to pump some money in into it and make it good.
Yeah. I'll go next. I've got 2 decks, but one of them I kind of haven't played it in a long time. I've got Zur the Enchanter, who is a 1/4 for 4 mana, Esper colors and 1. And he searches your library whenever he attacks. He searches your library for an enchantment card of mana cost 3 or less and puts it straight into play, whether it be an aura or not. And the whole idea is just to go Tron, search for stuff that makes him bigger, and hold up counterspells for the whole game.
Yeah. Not fun to play against.
It's not fun to play against, but it wins, and that's the point. And that's a deck that I haven't played as much in the past however many months. But the other deck that I have is probably my favorite deck I've ever built. It's a combo deck, and the general is Sasea Orochi Ascendant. I believe that's correct. And, yes, Sasea Orochi Ascendant. She's one of the flip cards from Kamigawa block, Champions, actually. And she is a 3 mana for 1 green, 2/3, legendary snake. And her ability is reveal your hand. If you have 7 or more land cards in your hand, flip her. And the other side says, it is called Sasea's Essence. It's a legendary enchantment. Whenever a land you control is tapped for mana, add 1 mana of that type to your mana pool for each other land you control with the same name. So what this means is, once she's flipped, if I have 10 forests out, that's 100 mana. So, basically, the idea behind the deck is to get 7 lands into your hand and flip her, and then just go to town with whatever green X spell you feel like. Generally, Genesis Wave is the thing that'll, do the trick, but there are a couple other ways to win. And it's pretty much different every time. It's not like a 3-card infinite combo or something that, I know a certain somebody enjoys.
Did you have a Shroom deck?
I did, but that was like a 4-card combo, so you can kind of forgive me. And I didn't run a lot of tutors. I ran, like, Beseech the Queen and a demonic, diabolic tutor. Unlike Connor's stupid... Yeah, sure, Lily. Unlike Connor's stupid 2-card combo deck.
Oh, God. That was a lot of fun to play again. So much fun.
Oh, yeah. So much fun, especially because he had, 18 tutors? Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Anyway, Sasei is very fun. Yeah, anyway, shoot.
I brew EDH more than anything. Two pet decks in general. One is, of course, like the generic Doran, Creatures with Big Butts deck, and another one which is something that I thought up, but Aiden helped me with a little bit. See if I can find where I threw it. Thormok the Insatiable.
That's right.
When he was spoiled as part of
1 second, I'll be right back.
Plane Chase.
Keep going.
When he was spoiled as part of Plane Chase 2012. For those of you who don't know, Thormok the Insatiable is a 5 converted mana cost creature. Costs 3 red-green with Devour X, where X is the number of creatures sacrificed this way. So, say you sack 5 guys, he's a 25/25.
He's pretty gross.
He is probably one of my favorite cards from that set.
So, what I made this deck to be is a rampy, tokeny, devoury deck with Warstorm Surge and Pandemonium and Sapperling Burst, like as alternate win cons, but also just Warstorm Surge and Pandemonium and a bunch of tokens to just okay, I'm gonna bring in a 49/49 Thromok, kill 2 opponents.
Just throwing it out there. My favorite thing, if you've got a Warstorm Surge, a Pandemonium, and then you play Sapperling Burst, you deal 7, then you deal 6, etc. Down until all of your Sapperlings are gone per enchantment. So that's going to be twice that. Then you bring in Thromok, eating all of the Sapperlings, triggering both Pandemonium and that for 49.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's lulstastic.
And really, the only way, my deck usually wins off of getting 4 to 5 giant guys into play, and then playing either Titanic Ultimatum or Overwhelming Stampede, which is the overrun that they printed in M11, I believe. M11.
12. I think 12.
Overwhelming Stampede. I think it was M.
No, wait, it was M11.
Where it's all your creatures get +X and trample, where X is the biggest power you control among creatures. Or, my favorite way to win is you Genesis Wave a big amount, and you try and hit either Warstorm Surge or In the Web of War. And you probably won't know what this card does, but it's a card from Betrayers of Kamigawa, 5-mana enchantment, double red and 3, where each creature you control comes into play and gets +2/+0 and haste. So you just Genesis Wave into either of those and with a bunch of guys, and you can either kill them or just kill them through direct damage with Warstorm Surge. It's really fun.
And if you're awesome, you hit both as well as 4 big creatures.
It's happened.
It has happened. It's disgusting. But to go back to my Sasea deck, just as a random thing, even though in most of the time you just assume Gen Wave for your deck is victory, there's a couple cards I have in there that solely enable that victory. One of which is Concordant Crossroads, which hang on, I'm gonna look it up real fast because I don't want to get anything wrong. Concordant Crossroads. This is a card that first was featured in Legends as a rare, and then in Chronicles, of course. And it reads green World Enchantment, which is interesting. It's a weird card type. And all creatures have haste. So basically, I gen wave my deck out and hit that, and get 1 billion tokens from whatever I end up hitting, like Avenger of Zendikar, for example, and just kill them.
Yeah,
It's very
and I
fun.
know that like my favorite part about that deck as a quote unquote combo deck is that you can Genesis Wave for like 93, but we can still kill you. Like I know
Right.
I've done it before.
It's pretty fair.
We've done it before where I've played Master Warcraft, had you kill one of our other friends, and then I just turned all my guys sideways and killed you.
That was pretty fantastic. But my favorite part about the deck overall is just the fact that there's so many ways to combo off, and then I could, like, even if I don't combo, like, I've got some mana doublers in there, so I can still, like, get a gen wave for 12 or whatever, which is still enough to win a lot of the time.
And my favorite part about my deck is, if there are any Timmies out there, this is the deck you're going to want to play. Because any new spoiler, any new set comes out, you scroll down through the spoiler and find every creature with power 6 or greater, or power 5 or greater, and you're like, what silly things could I do with this card? Like, you're able to play just the stupidest, biggest creatures ever printed in Magic, and it's amazing.
Do you have
example got
the Hoof, the Almighty Hoof in that deck?
I do. He's one of my favorite cards in it.
Oh, I love the Almighty Hoof.
Dude, I told you guys, the second that card came out, I said, this card is going to see play. If it's not going to see play in Standard, it's going to see play in EDH. It's seeing play in both. So
it's worth like $15 now in paper. Yeah.
Seriously? Oh, I'm unloading mine.
Back to my Thromach, like, what I love about it is, like, there are a bunch of ways to generate a whole bunch of mana and a whole bunch of ways to generate a bunch of tokens and to make a few really big guys through Devour. So it's just like, even it's like one of the separate either of Pandemonium or Warstorm Surge, and just like make a couple big Devour guys. Just like I blow up 1 or 2 people, and then say to the last guy, "You've got a couple really big guys to deal with right now. What you gonna do?" And then, of course, alternate quote-unquote win con, just for flavor, Panglacial Worm, because that's like the best card ever.
I love me some Panglacial Worm.
I should probably put that in my deck.
It's one of the few cards in EDH that you can play consistently if you have searched the library cards, which you should.
Right. I'm gonna tell people what it does first. For those who don't know, Panglacial Worm is a card from the Cold Snap reprint set, and it is a 7-mana 9/5 trample, and it says while you're searching your library, you may cast Panglacial Worm from your library. Now, this actually allows you to ignore all casting restrictions, such as instant speed or whatever, as long as you're searching. So, if something prompts you to search, you can cast him. You still have to pay 7, obviously, but he is awesome. I like
he's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and like, of course, the deck runs the generic, mana dorks and ramp spells and mana rocks and that sort of thing, with like some minor board sweeps and stuff. And of course, my favorite combo, Kiki Jiki with Chancellor of the Forge. Just make 1 billion goblins and then devour them all into Thromach, and then Skarg the Rage Pits and make him swing for all your opponent's life.
Yep. You can do some really, really silly stuff with Devour.
I really want to build this. I also really want to build Doran, just because it's hilarious.
Yeah, Doran's sweet.
And then I bought the Gov Guru, the Junk EDH box deck when like the Commander came out, and I've been wanting to try to make that better, but like to make it the way I want to do it, it's just like there are so many cards that I would want that cost a lot of money, like good Elspeth and just a whole bunch of stuff that just requires a lot of things.
Yeah.
Whereas
EDH can be really expensive.
Whereas like these two decks are relatively expensive for the format. Relatively inexpensive, rather, for the format.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit of an aside here. This is kind of on the tech front of EDH. There's a card that I feel is probably one of the most powerful yet underrated cards in EDH, and this card is actually called Sunforger. It is an equipment from the original Ravnica set, and it is part of the Boros Guild. And Sunforger reads...
It actually comes in the starter deck.
It does. Sunforger is a 3-mana equipment, costs 3 to equip, and it reads, equipped creature gets +4/+0. Not bad. Then red-white, unattached Sunforger. Search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost 4 or less, and cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then shuffle your library. And there's actually a list on MTG Salvation, what is it called? Semi-comprehensive Sunforger spells. And it is just a full-on list of every single card that you can cast with Sunforger. And the fun thing is, you can cast split cards with Sunforger, and if I'm not mistaken, which I don't think I am, because you're just playing, it says cast that card, so it doesn't mean cast the spell that meets the qualifications, it's saying cast the card. So, because of the way that that's worded, I'm fairly certain you can cast the ice side of Fire and Ice from Sunforger, and basically whatever, hit and run, hide and seek, etc. So that's a really cool play there. Like, you can cast Run, which is a 5-mana card with
I know it sees play in a lot of the red-white decks. Like, I know it's really good in Brian Stoutarm. Fun fact, did you know they actually, in the original Ravnica set, they were going to print a counterspell that costed blue, like blue-white or something, but it was too powerful because of Sunforger.
I completely understand.
They had an article on it on about it on the Mothership, and I just thought it was really interesting how like it's just that like this crappy card that came in a starter deck like made a card not be able to be printed.
Mhm. Yeah. The thing that kind of sucks about this card is that you need creatures in your deck for it to work, because it has to be equipped to something. And what also sucks is that it costs a decent amount of mana in order to tutor and cast the card, and it has to be an instant is the thing. Yeah. So there are definitely downsides to this card, but there's a lot of upside.
To anyone who is thinking of playing Sunforger, I recommend the card from Lorwyn, I believe, called Mistveil Plains, which puts a card that's in your graveyard on the bottom of your library. It's a Plains. It's one of those land cycles that they had, where like the red one shuffled your library, the blue one, I don't even remember. I know I played with the red one in my mono red deck, so.
Also, thanks to the return to Ravnica set, and probably thanks to Gatecrash soon. Or will it? No, never mind. No, never mind on Gatecrash, but probably the third set, which is called Dragon's Maze, I believe.
Yep.
We do actually have some counterspells with Sunforger. For example, Counterflux. Essence Backlash.
Absorb cost blue-white?
Absorb is an older card that yep. We also have, of course, like Is It Charm and whatnot. There's quite a few. Ooh, Double Negative. I forgot that was even there. Yeah, Double Negative is a cool one. Yeah, there's a lot of counterspells that you can actually play with Sunforger.
Well,
so
that just means you need America colors in order to do it.
Yeah, America, or even 5 colors.
They just need to print a good America General for the America color combo to be any good. Like, the cards in it are really good, You just need a good General.
Zedru is pretty cool, but you have to really like focus the deck around him, otherwise it just turns into a good stuff deck, which...
I think that if you're going to play any kind of America good stuff deck, you play the Dragon, the one that attacks and kills 6 lands. Yeah, that one. Or it's 3 lands or something.
It's 2. It's 2 lands per activation. Yeah, like you're still every turn killing 2 lands.
Yeah.
Like that's very good. Ooh, here's a new one, Dramatic Rescue.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So many cards. Oh my god! All right, this list is going to be in the description
You can cast
for sure.
Master Warcraft.
Yeah, that was a big one. Like even
Yeah.
in the set, that's a very good combo.
The card-
Well, like there are 3 legendaries under the America colors. There's Newmont, the dragon. There's Ruhan, the Fomori.
Ooh, Ruhan Sunforger.
If I was
You
gonna
like?
play Ruhan, yeah, I'd probably play Sunforger and Ruhan with Master Warcraft. That seems really good.
Yeah, with stuff like Master Warcraft, all the red spells that like pump Ruhan. Like one of my favorites is Reckless
pretty
Charge, because it's +3/+0 haste until end of turn, and it has flashback. That's a pretty good one.
You guys forgot about Ruhan, didn't you?
Yeah, I
didn't
did.
forget about him, but I didn't think that it would be good. And then I thought about it, like, oh wait, he attacks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a 4 mana 7/7 that attacks an opponent. Attacks a random opponent.
There's a lot of really good red cards that work with Ruhan. Soulspire is an example. Seething Song. You could Seething Song. Oh god. Yeah.
Even like some of the defense in white, like Stave Off, or like they try to kill him. Oh, unequip, get a Stave Off. Too bad.
There's some tricolored cards too that are pretty sweet. Not obviously, like you can't play all of these in USA. I mean, is there even a USA one actually?
Yeah, there should be a new monster.
Oh yeah, is there? I don't see it in this list. If somebody could search that.
1 second.
Real quick.
Instant search.
Oh god, I don't think there is a USA one.
Wait, that's actually mind blowing. There is no new Charm.
No, okay. Oh, I mean that makes sense, right? Because like the charms are only of the ally shard.
Yeah, because I'm looking for white, blue, red. Require multicolored, exclude unselected, and instant, and I'm getting 0 results.
There's like you know the shard charms, Jund, Crixus, Bant, whatever. Like those all already had a charm in those colors, one for each of the friendly dragons. So yeah, there's no tricolor USA one, unfortunately. But there is some sweet stuff that you can do if you do go a 5-color build with Sunforger. Flurry of Wings is a sweet one. This is an instant from Shards, or actually from Alara Reborn. Bant colors, just 3 mana total. Put X/1/1 white bird soldier creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield, where X is the number of attacking creatures.
It reminds me of the card from Descension. It was like sudden sprouting or something, where you just like put 1/1 saplings into play equal number of attacking creatures, just like blockers.
Yeah,
the picture's like a fairy like throwing like vines or something. I can picture the picture, but not the actual card.
I know what you're talking about. There's so many good cards here. Oh my god. Oh, did you guys know that there's a green-red Berserk?
Is there really?
Yeah. Except you don't even have to sack the creature at the end of combat. Surge of Strength. Costs green, red. As an additional cost, you have to discard a red or green card, unfortunately. But target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X that creature's converted mana cost. Oh, it's not exactly. Never mind, it's not Berserk. Derp. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired right now. It's still good though. Ooh, oh my god, I didn't even realize. You can cast Cascade spells.
Off of
that. Example, Violent Outburst. Actually, like all the Cascade spells, right?
You can cast the one that gains you 4 life, can't you? It's 4, right?
Or no, that's
Spit Blast.
You could... No, you cannot cast Bit Blast. Bit Blast costs too much.
Oh, right,
I guess
right.
You can cast... No, the other one's in it. The other one's a sorcery, too. The one where a target creature can't block.
Dang. I guess it is only
Yeah.
Violent Outburst, then. That kind of sucks. But still. Whatever. Yeah, this is a very cool card. I like it a lot.
Okay, so if you could pick any EDH deck, any general, who would you build? Like, money doesn't matter. Just go.
Money does not matter. I would probably go with... Oof. Well, I gotta think about this.
Hey, Shoop, I want to hear your answer.
Oh, man.
Because I know who I would do.
Dang.
This is rough.
My choice is Riku. Yeah.
Riku.
Because there's a lot of expensive cards for that deck, and I just want to, like, just the idea of copying things, copying things is my favorite, like, mechanic in Magic. I love just making copies and, like, I know there was a lot of laughs, because in one EDH game I played a red deck for a really long time. Every single cell copy ability that was available in mono red. And I copied somebody's Genesis Wave for 30 in a red deck. It was awesome. So I do Riku. I try to get as many... Well, now the Primeval Titan's gone. It's not nearly as fun, but... Try to get as many Primeval Titans as I possibly could. How about you, Shoop? You got anything yet?
I think I would make Gav, but essentially have him be junk tokens.
Yeah, he's insane.
Just like have all the
Gav's
anthems, like all the green, white, or black anthems, and just like all the token generation, and with some removal and stuff.
It'd be really fun.
With Elspeths and all the goodness.
Alright, I think I got mine. Sliver
That's
Queen.
a cool one. One of our friends, Sam, had a deck that was Sliver Queen for a while, and he hated it. But he wasn't playing the combo.
He built it wrong. Right, he built it so wrong. But, like, I would definitely go Sliver Queen. Because, one, it appeals to, like, my combo-ness, my Johnny-ness. While at the same time, it's just a sweet thing. Like, slivers are very cool.
That's my favorite Pauper deck. Like, it might not be the best one, but it's one of my favorites.
It's definitely not the best one, but it's so much fun.
It was a deck that your brother had when we were kids. He had that amazing sliver deck. It was like the second best deck out of our pool of decks.
It destroyed us.
Third. I think my Raksha Cat's equipment deck was pretty good.
Yeah. We had some pretty awesome decks when we were playing casually.
I
kind of miss that, but whatever. There's not much we can do now, though.
I would love to have Gav junk tokens just have so many things.
He's easily one of the easiest, like, combo generals that there is. They've printed so many ways to combo off with them, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like mono big guys with, either mono big guys with +1/+1 counters or mono little dudes.
Like, it doesn't help that they print all these populate cards, but, like, they print Corpsejack Menace, which helps them out. They had, what was the token doubler from Innistrad? Parallel Lives?
Parallel Lives. Frickin' Sigil Captain is the best thing in that deck.
Yeah.
Okay. It costs 1 to activate Goth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the card in the Sliver combo where when a creature enters the battlefield?
It's Mana Echoes. It's in red, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, really?
What's the card? What does it do?
When a creature enters the battlefield, you get 1 mana per creature that shares the color, right?
A type.
Or a type?
Mm.
Yeah. So, I was going to say, because in Gav, just doubling season, Infi... I mean, you basically go Infi anyway, because it's like, each 1 counter is 2 tokens, and each 1 token becomes 2 counters.
It's not infinite, but it's still, like, so ridiculously powerful that you're not going to be able to do anything against it.
It's near infinite, limited by your mana.
And there are ways within the... I'm pretty sure there are ways within the colors to make infinite mana.
Oh, yeah. There's always infinite mana combos. Even in every single monocolor, I'm pretty sure there's an infinite
There's
mana
one in
combo.
black, there's one in blue.
There's definitely one in
Yeah.
colorless, so that means every color can have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
if black and blue and red... If black and red can have it, then any color can have it.
yeah, exactly. Well, red is all about mana, though. Red is very mana-centric, like rituals and
That's
stuff.
not infinite. Like, I know my Kiki Jiki one, which is my other deck that I don't play a lot.
Yeah.
That has a couple infinite mana combos, but it involves, like, all these colorless cards. It involves sacking creatures. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Gav is very cool, because you can, with Gav, like, you can do some really broken stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the more powerful creatures. Or one of the more powerful generals there.
Okay, imagine this situation, right? Doubling Season on board. Corpse Jack Menace on board.
Sigil Captain on board.
Parallel Lives on board. Sure, Sigil Captain on board. Gav on board.
Oh,
You have 7 mana.
why?
Go.
I know.
Zach Gov puts 10...
Why would you sack?
to put 10 tokens on the field. Let's see, they would come into play with 2, double that, 4, double that 8, so they're 9/9s? So 10 9/9s? I'm doing the math right?
It would have.
Wouldn't that be double twos if you had Parallel Lives and Doubling Season out?
Oh,
Yeah,
so we 20.
yeah. So you'd get 4 times the amount of tokens,
Yeah.
right? And then 8 times the amount
yeah.
of counters. Christ.
And I know that and you remember watching the Ravnica Return to Ravnica block like mashup
Oh,
when that
God,
guy
yes.
with Doubling Season out, Jace Ultimate, steal your Jace Ultimate, steal your Jace again Ultimate.
That okay, yeah. I'm gonna
Oh
actually
my
go
God,
into that a
that
little
was
bit.
so
Like
funny.
even though it's not EDH, that's like a thing that you'd expect in EDH. So what ended up happening? They had the what was it called?
Yeah.
Community Cup? Yeah, the Community Cup. And in the Community Cup, they had a constructed like mode or whatever, like a constructed event, whatever. It was all of Ravnica block, and obviously Return to Ravnica set. And you could do whatever. It was just constructed, go. And I saw the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was a Bant deck, and the guy had a Doubling Season out, and so he played a Jace, Architect of Thought, which comes into play because of Doubling Season, comes into play with 8 counters, meaning it can ultimate immediately. So he ultimates, gets his own Jace, gets, like, whatever giant thing out of his opponents. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Angel. Casts both, of course. Jace comes down, has 8. Let's ultimate Jace! And basically he continued doing that until he was out of Jaces, and then he did it, I think, one more time for his opponent's Jace. And it was just fantastic.
So I saw a Vraskalt go down in that tournament. Oh god, it was great.
That is a format that I think they should actually have.
I know, I agree.
An official format. I would rather have that than
I
block.
completely agree. Like, make that the block. Like, it mono Ravnica.
Yes.
Get on that.
Yeah. Seriously, guys, get on that. Come on. So, I don't know. Even though we probably could talk a lot more about EDH, we're at 34 minutes right now. So, I do want to actually segue into a legacy deck that I was talking to Shoop about just a bit ago. So this is a combo deck, obviously. Like, come on, you know who I am. It's combo. And are you familiar with the card Doomsday? Okay, so I'm gonna, for the people listening who don't know, because it's highly likely that they don't know. So it's a black sorcery. Search your library and graveyard for 5 cards. of your choice and remove the rest from the game. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order you choose. You lose half your life rounded up. So, you obviously can think, like, okay, there's got to be a way to combo here. The ways to combo: the deck plays 3 Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. The deck plays 4 Show and Tell. And it plays 2 Sheldock Isles, as well as 1 Cloud of Fairies.
Alright.
So you Doomsday, making sure you've got some Emrakuls, in your deck. Top card being Sheldock Isle, or if you have a Sheldock Isle in hand already, just keep that. Make sure there's also a Cloud Fairy somewhere. And you play Sheldock Isle, hiding away an Emrakul. You could activate Sheldock Isle because your deck definitely has less than 20 cards in it. And Cloud of Fairies, play Cloud of Fairies to untap Sheldock Isle, as well as 1 blue mana, to activate it, and get an Emrakul.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. Holy shit.
Yeah, and this deck can actually go off as early as turn 1, because it has Dark Rituals as well as 1 Lotus Petal.
That's awesome.
So, you can go turn 1, go Swamp, Petal, Dark Rit, Sack Petal, Doomsday, you've got 1 floating. With the 1 floating, I guess you can't win on turn 1, but you can set it up for turn 2.
Set it up for a turn 2, yeah.
And then, you get Emrakul on turn 2, and you take an extra turn, and your opponent dies. So, this deck is sick. I should actually link you guys to this list so you can see exactly what it is. My apologies for not having done that yet.
Such a horrible person.
I know. And then, as a backup, in case you don't see Doomsday or something horrible happens to your Doomsdays, whatever, the deck also plays Lindol's Vault, which I'll read for those who are not familiar, because even if you are familiar, you probably don't remember what it does, because it's a very strange card. It costs blue and black. It says, look at the top 5 cards of your library. As many times as you choose, you may pay 1 life to put those cards on the bottom of your library and look at the top 5 cards of your library. Shuffle all but the top 5 cards of your library. Put those cards on top of your library in any order. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. So, what that means is, you can just pay a life. It's essentially another copy of Doomsday, because in the end you're probably going to be paying about half your life, but you get to go until you find a near perfect 5-card combo on top of your deck to win with. So there's a lot of consistency with this deck. It also plays top for some modifications. Yeah. The obvious inclusions such as 4 Force of Will, 4 Brainstorm. And then 1 card that I think is really cool, Solitary Confinement. Another card that I'm going to read. 3 mana enchantment from Judgment, I think. That's what that symbol is. Yeah, it's Judgment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Solitary Confinement unless you discard a card from your hand. Skip your draw step. You can't be the target of spells or abilities. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. So, you basically, as soon as possible, play a Solitary Confinement, and then just wait until you can, normally you would be playing it, after you play Doomsday, so you can wait to do whatever. It's just a card that you can use to delay your opponent from killing you.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I very much like this deck. Also plays 3 Stifle, which is very cool.
That's gross.
Stifle, yeah. Which, fun fact, Stifle is the only card that's actually playable that can stop Emrakul's Take an Extra Turn clause.
Ew.
So just in case you play Show and Tell and your opponent also has an Emrakul, and actually you don't get the extra turn there. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of that actually.
You're playing the mirror and they go off before you.
Yeah, there you go. And then you stifle the trigger, and then when you play your Emrakul, you get the extra turn, even though both Emrakuls die.
You play against Tron.
Sure. Is that even a deck? In
I
Legacy?
believe so. Legacy Tron, I believe, is a deck.
It might be. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention.
If not, then 12 Post is a deck.
True. Also, one of my favorite parts about this deck is that this guy, just feeling like the baller he is playing with a 14-card sideboard because he has 1 planes.
Just in case you need more white sources, man.
Yep. You got it. I mean, he might actually be boarding it in like with Peacekeeper, because it's a very white-centric card, and he doesn't have a lot of white sources.
That's certainly possible.
He has 1 scrubland, 1 tundra. So yeah, he might actually board it in with Peacekeeper, because that's actually an unwastelandable land to keep Peacekeeper alive. So that's fair. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite decks that I've ever seen. I was just talking to Shoop, going like, you know what card is awesome? Doomsday. I wonder what kind of combo decks exist with it.
This one that got second place in a Legacy Open
in 2011.
Yep.
In 2011.
Yeah, whatever.
Still,
who cares?
Decks like this are still being played, so it's not like this is not a valid strategy anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Legacy, I suppose, is a fairly stagnant. What's the word I'm looking for? Format. Thank you. In that, like, there aren't a lot of cards that would like stir up a lot of like buzz in the Legacy community because they have access to everything else.
When there are cards, right? But then when there are cards that do that, say Delver, instead of like actually changing the format, it just kind of like makes one of the decks better.
This is how I see Legacy. It's a very rock paper scissors format, where now that Miracles is seeing so much play, no one plays Maverick anymore. Maverick used to be one of the better decks to play against Rogue Delver, and it's not played at all. So like now everyone who's playing Miracles is getting beat by like this Rogue Delver list because that deck got rid of Rock, so paper so Scissors gets to kill paper all the time. Like it's just it's ridiculous.
And then little whatever combo just like shows up every now and then. Like combo, no matter what, combo's gonna do well. It's just a matter of how lucky they are. Like that's what it comes down to in the tournaments.
Feline, I feel like Feline with her High Tide deck, we were talking about last week. I feel like it might be a mixture of luck and the fact that she's a really good High Tide player.
Yeah. I just like. There's not a lot of combo decks that can consistently win. Like when I say consistently, I mean 100 times out of 100 games. Just win same way. Win no matter what.
No.
Exactly. Not a lot of combo decks can do that. A lot of combo decks can get like 99 out of 100, but 100 out of 100 is like impossible. So if combo doesn't do well one day, it's just an off day for combo. It's that 1 out of 100 or whatever.
That's the best thing about Legacy is you see all these really weird combo decks. Like the other Doomsday combo deck, the one where it doesn't. Or am I thinking of the right one? The one that doesn't actually do anything. Which one am I thinking of?
You're thinking Four Horsemen.
That one. The one that doesn't actually do anything, so it's like almost illegal to play now. Like against with certain.
It actually is illegal
so funny.
to play.
I just found that hysterical that there's like actually a deck that's illegal to play because it's technically slow playing it.
Yep. But do you guys have anything to note?
Just in general? Do you want to talk about the adding of Power 9 to Cube?
Yes. Oh God, yes. Okay. So, first off, a little backstory. I did not ever play Cube until the Moto Cube first came out, and I played the living shit out of it. All right. I was so addicted to it, and actually, when the Cube first came out, you could pretty easily go infinite off of it.
Yeah, they kind of ruined
because
that
it paid out. Yeah, it paid out in really good packs, though. I don't remember which
Cube
set it was at that point. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember which set it was at that point, but it was the most recent set, so you could pretty easily go infinite, because it was 7 ticks to enter, and then you win 8 packs. So it's like, whoa.
Uber infinite.
Yeah, and I played so much of it, I basically figured out the format, and then I've played it a couple times since then, but Cube is definitely one of my favorite formats at this point, and they are doing a huge change to the Cube for this holiday season, and I was, like, so surprised by it when these guys told me. But it basically is the addition of Power 9, as well as some other very powerful cards, to Cube.
May I use my epic voice in order to tell people what the Power 9 are?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Power 9 consists of 9 cards from the Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited. God damn it, I screwed it up.
Come on, Shoot.
The
Come
Alpha,
on.
Beta, and Unlimited
Get your act together.
cycles from early Magic the Gathering, including Ancestral Recall, Black Lotus, Mox Emerald, Mox Jet, Mox Pearl, Mox Ruby, Mox Sapphire, Time Twister, and Time Walk.
Yeah. So the big card, obviously, on everybody's mind is Black Lotus, because that is technically the most powerful card in Magic. Technically,
the new art that they made for the Power 9 and stuff for the Cube. Oh man, the Black Lotus art is so delicious.
It's beautiful. But the thing about the Power 9 that I'm most excited about, it's not only the Power 9, by the way, it's a couple others. If somebody could find the link for it.
Some notables is Emrakul. They added Emrakul in addition to the other Eldrazi's that were already in it.
Yeah, that's a pretty notable one. But it's basically, for me, I'm really happy because I think it's going to make Storm actually an archetype in this cube. Technically, it was an archetype before, and they've made it a little bit better, like, each time they change it up at all. But it never has really had the power to actually bring home a game by storming out. And adding the Power 9 alone is probably enough to do it, because you've got such combo cards as 6 free mana cards, Time Twister, even Time Walk. Like, come on.
Some other cards they added: the Signets, Mana Drain, Mind Twist. Here, I'm gonna try and find the whole list because they had it posted somewhere.
Yeah.
They also added Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
That's another that's really good for Storm. Nolan, I think you're breaking up a little bit. Your internet's going poo.
It shouldn't be.
If you could link me, I'll read it off while your internet sorts itself out.
I'm trying to find the actual link to the thing. Oh god, where was it? It's so cool.
Yeah. But one of the things that I'm really happy about are the signets. So we actually get like real fixing / mana rocks for the cube.
Yeah. They had the Alpha Beta Unlimited revised duels in there too, but yeah, you're right. With the signets in there, it's definitely a lot easier to do multicolored decks.
It's a lot more about the mana rock portion than the fixing portion, anyway. Because having a mana rock that produces both of your colors, or 2 of your 3 colors, whatever, is very, very, very good.
Oh yeah.
That also makes a library way better. Because if you can't activate library, you might as well turn it into your 2 colors. And Nolan, I think your internet's good now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is something that really excites me. It does end up... I don't remember what they're taking out of the cube for all these, but in general, it's going to worsen the other archetypes, which is unfortunate, because my favorite archetype of all time for cube is this very cool birthing pod archetype. And I'm actually... I wish I could find the picture. I had a picture at some point about my pod deck. I'm gonna work on finding that right now so I can list it off, because I was so absolutely happy about it that it just like was so good.
All right, okay,
Give
I
me a
found the
moment.
link. I'm gonna link it to you.
Okay. No, you can go ahead and read it.
I'm just gonna try and find some
on-
cool ones that I don't remember being in the old cube.
Okay.
Was Baneslayer in the old cube?
I do not believe so.
Elishnorn?
Yeah, I don't think that was it there either.
Everything's better with Baneslayer.
I agree.
Tamia was in the original one.
Yeah,
The last
she's not added here.
Cryptic Command.
Mm-hmm.
Serendibity, was that in the old one?
Yeah, it was. That's been there for
I love it.
forever.
Inkwell,
He's very cool.
Inkwell
I like that guy.
Leviathan.
I don't think
Delver
so, actually.
Secrets.
Yeah, I think Delver's been in there. I think.
Always Dust
God.
and Karn.
Yeah, I don't think either of those were there either.
No, wait. Quick thing about Dust, about All Is Dust. Does Tron and Post? Do they play All Is Dust since they mostly play colorless things?
No.
No. They have their ways to get colors. Oh, actually, I just realized Elishnorn was in the old cube. Yeah, because I'm looking at my picture from the first cube draft that I ever did, which I'm gonna read it off.
Was Metalworker in the last one?
Oh God, no, it was not. Oh God. Okay, So, anyway, one of the first cube decks I ever drafted was a pod deck, and here it is. For lands that I drafted, I'm not gonna list off basics because that's gonna take a while, but for non-basics I have Glacial Fortress, Savannah, and Breeding Pool. For 1-drops, I have Llanowar Elves, Weathered Wayfarer, Wild Nacatl. For 2-drops, Wall of Roots, Wall of Blossoms, Strangleroot Geist, Kami of Ancient Law, and Survival of the Fittest. 3-drops, Cultivate, Bogart Ramgang, Kitchen Finks, and Loyal Retainers. 4-drops, Birthing Pod, Faith Fetters, Loxodon Hierarch, Obstinate Baloth, Oracle of Moldiah, and Thrun the Last Troll. 5-drop have Maloku, 6-drop Kaiga. 7-drops I have Tooth and Nail and Elishnorn. 8-drops Sundering Titan and Achroma, White Achroma.
Ew. I think I remember you drafting this deck, you showing this to me.
Yes, it was disgusting. Probably one of the best decks I think I've ever seen anybody draft. Probably my favorite thing ever was starting. My opening hand had Achroma and Survival of the Fittest. Yeah, I went turn 1, Llanowar Elves. Turn 2, Survival, throw away Achroma, get Loyal Retainers. Turn 3, play Loyal Retainers, sack it, return Achroma, hit them with Achroma on turn 3. So, yeah.
It reminds me of a legacy game I watched on stream where it was Reanimator versus Elves. Reanimator turn 1 Elishnorn. It was Scrubland Lotus Petal. Sack Lotus Petal to Entomb Elishnorn, then reanimate, then use the Scrubland to reanimate Elishnorn. That just kills elves in general. It was hilarious.
Oh, also, fun fact, Loyal Retainers is legal in Legacy. They unbanned it quite a while back, but not a lot of people have played it.
They added a lot of Return to Ravnica cards. Supreme Verdict, Vraska.
Ooh, I like the Vraska edition.
Dragmangler.
Sure.
Abrupt Decay.
Yeah. Basically, the cube is getting a pretty huge overhaul.
The new Niv Mizzet's in there.
Sweet.
Armada Worm.
Oh god, that card is so good.
I might actually play this cube. I just want to be able to play a Black Lotus.
Well, Also, this is over winter break, so we're playing
Sounds
this
good to
cube,
me.
Nolan.
I'll play it at least once.
It'll be interesting
Yeah.
to see like Greg Hatch stream the cube.
I know.
Yeah.
I've wasted.
Speaking of which,
I've wasted many nights watching Greg Hatch stream Cube. Oh my god.
He's a
He's
pretty
actually
cool
part
guy.
of the stream team now.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that. But speaking of which, we should actually end this soon because we're getting close to an hour, and I want to kind of get some sleep, even though it's not that late. I'm very tired. And so, I'm going to end it by actually doing a little bit of a plug to one of my favorite streamers for Magic, Celerity Gaming. He streams stuff other than Magic. I don't quite remember what his other channel is, but he streams on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/Celerity Gaming, CELERITY Gaming, no space, of course. And, yeah, he basically just plays Magic a lot. Normally drafts, but also does some other stuff. And he's definitely one of my favorite streamers to watch. His other channel is twitch.tv/Celerity Retro, where he plays like other games that aren't Magic, but Celerity Gaming is his Magic channel, so just a little
And I
plug.
definitely look up, like, if you're ever on Twitch late at night and you see Greg Hatch playing, I definitely look him up. He's definitely my favorite streamer on Twitch.
Shoop, any plugs?
Definitely Cedric Phillips. He is the best Magic streamer around ever. He's just hilarious. He's been testing Mono Red and Standard. He's going to be doing some Legacy, I assume Goblins, in the coming weeks for a GP, I'm assuming. He's just absolutely hilarious. Very charismatic. He's one of the whitest black men I have ever seen. His music choice is that of a 12-year-old girl, and for the most part, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But definitely watch Cedric Phillips Twitch TV/SetiP.
And
I know
Greg
you two. Of course, Greg Hatch, and I know you two aren't big fans of MJ, but
I like MJ.
You like MJ? I know
like
Aiden
MJ.
doesn't like MJ.
Yeah.
Watch MJ. Twitch.tv/darkest_mage. He comes off fairly abrasive, but
Okay. Yeah.
I'm warning you, he comes off pretty abrasive, but he generally knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. It's just like I hate him.
He just comes off very abrasive, and it takes a different personality in order to tolerate that.
Yeah. But
if you can tolerate douchebaggery, by all means watch MJ. If not, then I suggest keeping them at arm's length, and definitely watch SETI.
Yep. So, also, this is a little bit of an announcement to you guys, too. I believe this will be the first one that I upload, or I submit to MTG Cast. So,
hopefully we get some,
fingers
crossed.
Some
exposure. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to have an actual picture yet, so that kind of sucks.
You just use the normal,
really wanted the picture.
normal Homarid warrior, man.
Unfortunately, we can't use that for like.
Oh yeah, because it's copyrighted.
Because it's copyrighted. But once I do get the picture from my brother, like we're going to be using that thing forever. So, yep. I really wanted the picture before submitting to MTG Cast, but it's taking too long, so I'm just gonna go for it.
We're not gonna talk about
the
standard GP then.
No, we'll talk about it like next week. We'll do a bigger recap, like a longer timeline recap. And yeah, for all of us here at Affinity for Homarids podcast.
Follow us on Twitter.
You stay classy, world.
Follow us on Twitter. Me Twitter at Smugface, SMUGFAEC.
Me on Twitter at UberGooseUS.
I don't have Twitter.
You
should get Twitter.
And then you can follow the podcast, of course, at Affinity for Homarid.
Oh, it's at Affinity Podcast.
Oh no, it's Affinity Podcast.
You can email us at affinityforhomarid at yahoo.com for questions to me, to Aiden, to Nolan, to Connor.
Whatever.
If you're wondering why he's being a jackass and not showing up to these.
Sooner or later, we're just going to kick him off the
and
roster.
if you want any of our commander deck lists, or any opinions on your commander deck list, send them in. We'll talk about them, give them a look, send you an email back.
Oh, yes. Might even talk about them on the cast, so...
Yep. We would like to be as friendly as possible towards our fans. So, don't assume that we're going to be the guys who, like, have somebody who's going like, oh my god, I love your podcast, and then we're like, fuck you. Like, we're not those guys.
We're not like, if you somehow run into us on the street and we're like, oh my god, you're X and Y from the Affinity for Homarid podcast, we're gonna be like, away from me, heathen! No, we're not gonna do that. We're not those people.
Yeah. I don't know how you would see us, though.
You don't know who we are.
Our voices... To be fair, our voices are actually pretty different from the way we
I'd
look.
agree.
At least mine. Like, I know for a fact mine is very different.
I sound so nasally on these. I was listening to it.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun.
Like, I don't sound remotely near what I think I sound. And if you guys saw who I was, you'd be like, you sound nothing like how you are. So
sound like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Just a lot of mindless orcs. These are Urukai.
Yeah. So anyway, contact us. That was the email. All this stuff will be in the description, all the links and everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us. And we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Same Homarid time, same Homarid place.